Hey everyone, how you doing? It's Liz here. I want to ask a question today, which I get a lot from clients, which is when you start out and I teach people about that big goal or your big wanting, the thing you really desire in life. Do you go whole hog? Do you go full in, or do you play it safe and have it as a side hustle at first? This is a really big, important question. And I think I get it all the time. And I have thought about this a lot. Do you just quit the job, or do you just start the business? Do you just, you know, get on, a dating app and just go for it, even though you hate them, whatever it is? Do you go whole hog, or do you have a side hustle? This is my question. Do you play it safe, which isn't really safe, which I'll explain in a minute, or do you just jump in full? I call it leaping into the abyss, which doesn't sound good because you think when you leap into the abyss, you're going to die at the bottom, but you don't. I find that the universe really appreciates action and speed. And when you say, okay, God, universe, this is it, I'm going for it, you have more support. I think when you choose a safe side hustle, they can work for sure. But I think the universe supports you less because it says, oh, he, she, they got it. They're going to do it that way. Okay. It's kind of like telling source how you want to do it. So let's get into it. So which do you choose? I would say it depends on your current money situation, because we live in a pay to play world. And it depends on your money consciousness, like your level of abundance or poverty consciousness, like where you fall on that scale, and where your current confidence or self-concept, self-esteem, or self-image land. So if you're scared about the money, maybe you do need to play it safe. There are people out there that just go for it and always know they're going to get the money. They have full-on confidence. I can name like 5 people right now who just went in because they could get $1 million in a day. And you go, oh, well, I can't. Right. Well, that's exactly right. Henry Ford has said, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. So and I would say most people fall into the category of wanting to play it safe. I think, and it also depends on the family. Are you supporting a family? Are you a single parent with children? It's scarier for sure. It's scary. And also your extended family. Whom have you told about your money situation or your desire to do a side hustle or go full in and start your own thing? I mean, people can poo-poo that and bring you down and tear down your goals. So who knows who's in your life that will go, what are you doing? Who do you think you are? Oh, you think you're a solopreneur now, right? So it depends who you've told or how close your extended family is of your current family culture, say. I will say in my experience that leaping into that abyss or making a quantum leap is ultimately better. It's ultimately safer because you're working for yourself and you're creating your own economy. It may take a little longer, but it doesn't have to. Your job is not figuring out the how when you have a goal. Your job is to have the desire and be at the frequency, the vibe of your end goal. So for example, I've said this before, but let's say your goal is to make, I don't know, $100,000 every month. Now, right now, even get to the feeling place of how you'd feel if that had been happening for 3 months now, and you have, $250+ in the bank, because of course you have expenses and you've paid off some credit card debt or something. How would that feel right now? How would it feel to have achieved your goal? Right? Or put it this way, if you're in that wonderful romance, that wonderful romantic thing, you got the great boyfriend, the great girlfriend, you wouldn't be sitting around going, I can't wait to have a girlfriend. When's it going to happen? When am I going? Where is she? I don't know where she is. You wouldn't be thinking that. If you had her, you'd be comfortable. You'd be waking up lazily on a Saturday morning and bringing her a mimosa and making some nice breakfast, or going for a hike or a trail run or a talk or more pillow talk, or you wouldn't be sitting around desperately wanting, because you're in the having. So how would you feel if you had the money in the bank, or the girl or the guy or the family, the kids, or the vehicles that you want, or the home that you want, or the lifestyle that you want, that you're traveling the world now? Right. So you have set the desire, and then you live in the space of it. So many creators talk about this, like living in the end, like Neville Goddard says. If you're really starting out really far from that, like, I don't know, I want to do something, but I just don't know, but you're feeling kind of scared. Like, this happens a lot with my clients who are now empty nesters. Their kids are grown and gone. Their husband, they're now divorced from their person, or their person has passed on, and they're now like, well, now what do I do? They have a big empty gaping hole of, well, what am I going to do with my time? I've always wanted to do A, B, or C. I don't know. I don't know, I've served my family all these years. I don't know if I'm even allowed to do what I want. That's a whole other topic, but how do you, how much do you feel you deserve to do what you want to do? So if you're not there yet, then maybe the side hustle is for you. It does feel safer. And if you do have a job currently, most likely you're going to keep the job. I mean, most people probably keep their jobs. But as I'll say later, ultimately, working for yourself and making your own economy is actually ultimately safer. But like I was saying before, jumping in and going whole hog, going full in, full out, it can actually be faster sometimes. It doesn't mean it's going to be harder or take longer. That's another fallacy that we think. And as we think, we are. Okay. So like I said, I think leaping to the abyss is actually better if you can stand it, right? Ultimately safer. It's scary. And I think that scary, bold action with faith, I think the universe loves it. The universe, God, source loves action, loves speed, and loves that kind of dedicated commitment, and will support you, but in ways that you may not want or like. So you might just get the money coming in just as you have the bill coming in. So you're not sitting on a pile of cash. You might live more in money flow, where you have a $300 bill, but then someone just gives you $300. It's kind of a scarier ride. All right. Sometimes it can be, right? The safer route, you're definitely more in charge of. And like I said, the universe or source will back off and say, oh, he's got it. She's got it. All right. They want to do it their way. Cool. We'll support that, but I feel like you get less payout. It can be safer if you have a family to support, et cetera, like we talked about. It definitely feels more comfy, but comfy isn't always supported. The more comfy and safe you are, I think the more chances that source is going to upset your apple cart and encourage you to change or force a change. I remember C.S. Lewis wrote a book back in the day when I was an uber Christian called Mere Christianity. And in it, he talks about how God speaks to you at first in a whisper, like little hints. That's that subconscious mind offering you inspired action, like don't go down that road, or you shouldn't get in the car today, or stop. I was at a stoplight the other day, as a matter of fact. I'm pretty speedy when I'm in the car and the light turns green. I do look, of course, but I am pretty speedy out of the gate to get across the intersection. The other day, I was coming back from the post office and I just heard wait. And sure enough, someone ran the red light that I might have T-boned, or I might have T-boned me if I hadn't stopped. So you try to listen when source is talking to you in a whisper. But if you don't listen to that, like especially the warning kinds of things like, I would talk to your boss. Looks like he might be closing down the company. There's something going on. Like, look for a job today. Look for a job today. Look for a job today. Or clean out that cupboard today. Clean out that cupboard today. You get these little inspired actions, but it gets louder and louder and louder and louder until eventually you're hitting the brick wall. Now, so I think it's really good to listen and get that sensitive, hear that sensitive, quiet voice at first. But anyway, you will, I think, sometimes get less help and warnings if you want to take the safe route, because the universe, God, source is knowing you're taking the safe route. Like, you got it. You have a way you're doing it. This is the how. The how is you're going to do your, music. You're going to take on music students and teach them music in the evenings because you have your day job. You're going to be more tired. You may be more tired. Again, I don't mean to cancel. I don't mean to lay this on you, but you might be more tired. You might have to take care of the kids, get them to bed. Who knows? But, have less time, perhaps less time and energy. Again, only if you think you will. So being comfy and secure with that side hustle isn't always really the most safe and secure. It might be immediate in your immediate future, but people can always be laid off and pensions can always be lost. The government can always shut down. It isn't as safe as when you create your own economy, when you're relying on other people to support you. Doing your own thing is ultimately actually safer. Both will work. I do think that the safer route ultimately has less payout. I think greater success and a payout come when you just go for it, but I understand if you can't. So I have a couple ideas. If you really are nervous, petrified about going out on your own. In fact, I have some clients, even today, I have a tarot client we're working together on figuring out for him, when does he go full hog? He wants to be a day trader. What's the timing for that? How does he do it? Well, I would say, play it safe until you can make a quantum leap. So how you do that is play it safe, do your safe side hustle thing. And I would definitely work on your self-concept, your self-image, because that's coming out of fear and lack of safety and lack of money. So I would work on your money stuff, work on your self-image so that you just know you're a baddie and you're a boss and you can get the money in a day if you need to. But if you don't have that confidence, play it safe, do the side hustle thing, and work on your self-image a lot, and reach out if you want help with that. There's a lot of coaches and creators out there that can help you, but it's the self-image that's holding you down and wanting you to play it safe. So I'd play it safe until your concept's strong enough, until you can make that quantum leap and just go for it. Number one. Number two, just go full in, and you can just have the scary time of it, the scary 1 or 2 years where you're like, oh my gosh, you don't know if you're going to make it. It's scarier, but you'll get through it. It's like, do you want to walk through a doorway of flames, or do you want to walk on hot coals for 10 years? So do you want the flames up front? You know, when I used to counsel people on whether they should get divorced or not, and I'm not pushing divorce or no divorce. I'm simply saying, I would tell soldiers, I would tell my clients, like, well, you can divorce this person now and walk through the flaming doorway for a year or two of hell, or you could walk on hot coals for the next 10 or 20 years. So you decide, you know, and I would also say, fix it or forget it. Like, fix it first before you forget it. Like, really try to fix something. But anyway, whole other topic. But I would say, so number one, play it safe until you can make that quantum leap. Work on your self-concept. Number two, go full in now. Go in full now and just figure it out. It'll be a scary roller coaster ride, and then work on your self-concept along the way. So I mean, I'm just saying, do one or the other is the point. Do one or the other. You're going to be fine. Do what your choice is. But I'm just wanted to point out, my bottom line up front, my bluff is basically, you want to do the side hustle because you have a poverty consciousness to some extent, and you have a low self-concept, or, you know, it's not strong enough for you to just go woohoo. And then also there might be people around you pressuring you to, like, what are you doing? Especially a partner might be like, what are you doing? Don't do that. It's scary. But I want to also say that going full in and making that quantum leap is better. And that's all I have for you today. But blessings, and happy whatever day you're listening to this. Take care. Bye-bye.